Hello and welcome to your in-depth weekly horoscope for week commencing the 17th of April. This is for the Sun or the Ascendant. I'm going to give an overview that we can all collectively relate to. Of course, this week sees an enormous event with the solar eclipse, the first of the year, right on the last degree, which is a critical degree in astrology, 29 degrees Aries, the anaretic point, but squaring up with the mighty but tiny Pluto. What does that mean? We also have Mercury slamming on the brakes the next day on Friday through to the middle of May in the sector of everyday money. But actually Mercury forges a very constructive link this week with the feisty Mars, so I need to share that with you. But if you are a returning viewer, thank you so much for joining me once more. If you're new to my channel, it's great to have you with us. I'd be honoured if you'd subscribe. Please click or tap on the bell notification symbol. So let's just explore what we start this week. We have the Sun and we also have Jupiter and CHIRON in the sign of Aries. And if you recall, right at the start of Aries season, we had a new moon. So what makes this week really notable is the second new moon in the sign of Aries in a month. So really rare. And Aries energy is about freshness. It's about initiation, drive. It's the start zodiac sign. And it's where we really get things going. It's that germination energy. But sometimes that means, a bit like the Fool card, we have to take a step into the unknown. But the other way that we can use Aries energy is to inject greater drive and fire, because of the fire nature of this sign, into ongoing plans. So it doesn't have to be a start plan. But because the Sun moves on Thursday, immediately after the eclipse, into the sign of Taurus, joining up with, of course, Mercury, the North Node and Uranus, I feel that whatever ideas we're germinating this week, they need to in some ways be ones that can then pretty immediately become more tangible. So it's not just about the thrust, it is about what we can actually manifest into something more tangible and lasting. Where does Pluto fit into this? Well, I feel that there could be some pain with the gain, because when the Sun and Pluto are squaring as they are this week within 3 degrees, we can get some growing pains. We could resist some change that we need to make, cling on to what we think is important to us, but somehow or another events can seem to have an impact on us which doesn't necessarily make it feel like we're in control, because Pluto is a lot about control. So just be conscious of that. There are some complexities there. But if you would like to ascend above this zodiac broadcast and understand what more serious astrology can do for you personally, if you give me 3 pieces of your birth data of time, date and place of birth, or if you only have your date and place, I can produce for you either my natal life roadmap report, which will help you to get a much more intimate understanding of the patterns that have played out in your life, but also work with them more closely future forwards. But both analyses, the second is based on the Sun as the ascendant, but both these analyses can be complemented with 30% off with my 12-month personal forecast. Again, totally unique to you, and these can give you searing insights into when you make your moves. If you're someone who's really into YouTube videos, the solar package will work really well for you. If you have some sense of your ascendant and more serious astrology, stick to the standard package. But please see the link below for more. So Cancer, your week commencing the 17th of April forecast sees the Sun, Jupiter and Chiron cresting in house 10, all about success, raising your profile, really going for the goals and ambitions that are important to you. So a solar eclipse gives you an opportunity to set your intention and give a top up to the Aries new moon that also augmented these energies at the start of Aries season. And of course the recent cazimi between the Sun and Jupiter also gave you an opportunity to really reach into the things that would really give you a sense of gratification, where you can gain traction towards the type of physical lifestyle and the type of respect that you really feel that you deserve. But of course, the solar eclipse occurs right at the last degree of Aries, so it's just moving into the part of your situation that's to do with connections to others. And that's been a very changing area for you over the last few years, 4 times since 2019, but for 5 months in 18. And you may have, in some ways, been quite rebellious, quite unexpectedly, for some of the people you're used to hanging out with. You may have shown yourself to be someone who's quite outspoken at times, needing more space, really working more with some radical ideas that really seem that much more important to you. So the position of the eclipse right towards the end of the success part of your chart suggests that success needs to work with your network as the sun then moves later that day into Taurus. But of course, Mercury the next day goes into retrograde. So I feel that your professional situation or worldly situation is going to be very dependent on your skill as a communicator. If you're someone who's right at it, you know, you're really sort of very good at acknowledging other people, staying in touch. Despite Mercury retrograde causing potential glitches, I feel that you have a lot of desire to overcome those, particularly with Mars in your sign, because that's given you a lot of desire to really stay on the front foot, keep moving forwards in a very progressive, exciting way. And it is really exciting. You can take a leadership role in some kind of group situation. But if you're in, you know, something that requires lots of different people to have an input, there is the potential for glitches. I think that's inevitable with Mercury retrograde. And you may find out about some of your connections, particularly professionally. So there may be some favours that you feel are due to you. You call that person and they're not open to actually reciprocating in the way you might expect. So there could be a little bit of disappointment. So around your longer term plans, things can shift a bit. Be quite flexing, so you can set your goals and ambitions once more with the eclipse, but just stay utterly flexible. And that's not always easy with Taurus energy, because Taurus energy wants us to see something tangible, and it makes us or needs us to see that quickly because it needs to feel the security. And I think you may have to wing it a little bit through to the middle of May, and when Mercury starts to ebb forwards again. But you have got Mars in your sign to provide enormous support to you. But I think the link with Pluto and the solar eclipse is really, really interesting for you, because I feel that if there are alliances you've got or business relationships you've got where it does seem to be a lot of give by you, but you don't see a lot of tangible commitment coming back from the other side, that's where I feel your longer term plans can be quite fluid. So goals and ambitions to the fore still. You can see some of them and see instant results, but others may just shift on, and you may have to just flex with that as this week goes on. It's been a real pleasure being with you. Please do like, comment or subscribe.